Hi everyone, hope you all are doing great. And I have put in a poll that will be covering all the interview questions. I'm also preparing for interview, so I'll be sharing those questions which I'm gonna prepare it for my interview. So we're gonna start it from the scratch since I have also taken a break for a year. I didn't study much. I was only working, but yes, for the interview we need to prepare a certain type of questions and from every like depth of everything. So we are starting it from the scratch. You can refer my another videos also in my channel. But in this videos we're gonna have the Java from basic to advanced. We will cover Java, we will cover API. So you will have my different kind of videos are coming, which is a combinations of Java, Selenium, APIs, and Playwright also. So there are new things which we're gonna add it. I'll explain you a little more further into this video. So stay tuned onto the series of interview where we're gonna prepare a real-time Java interview questions for 2025 as well. Like once the 2026 comes, we will cover those questions as well. But right now we're gonna cover the series of all the questions which we have to cover it. Even for the if the freshers is watching my channel, they can also refer these Java questions. We will also cover some testing questions. So in this series we will have some um, set of questions which we have to prepare it for the interview. We will also have some coding questions later on. Right now we just started with the Java. Stay tuned for these videos and show us like I need your support guys for the motivation. So yeah, okay. So let's go to the very basic questions. Is Java's platform independent? If then and then how? So yes, we know like Java is the platform independent. Unlike the other programming language, Java C compiles the programs to from the bytecode like dot class file. This file is independent of the software or hardware running but needs a JVM while pre-installed in the operating system for the executions of the bytecode. So we know, right, JVM is a platform independent and the bytecode can be created on any systems and can be executed in any other system despite, uh, the hardware or software being used, which makes Java platform independent. So I think that is required for the Java. If that is the question, sometimes in the interview they can ask you. So what are the top Java features? So Java is one of the most famous and most used language in the real world. There are many features in the Java that makes it better than any other language. Um, some of them are it's robust, object oriented, portable, simple, platform independent, interpreted, secured, and distributed. So as we say simple, so Java is quite simple to understand and it's very synthetic. So if you have gone through other languages, also JavaScript, TypeScripts, you will understand, the how Java makes our life is very easy in terms of syntax, in terms of methods, in terms of functions. It's quite simple. Second is platform independent. So Java's platform independent means we can run the same program in any softwares and hardware and we'll get the same results, right? Similarly, like interpreted, Java is interpreted as well as the compiler based language, and then it's robust as mentioned into the verb one. Features like garbage collections, exception handling, etc., that make language a robust. And then object oriented. Java is an object oriented language that supports the concepts of class, objects, four pillars of oops, etc. So we know that. Then it is secured as well, as we can directly share an application with the user without sharing the actual program makes Java secure language as we use the encryption concept. Then we also have the high performance, faster than a traditional interpreted programming language. It's faster because we worked into the abstractions and then we use many other method, right? We use overriding, overloading concept that makes it a little faster or high performance. Then it is dynamic supports dynamic loading of the classes and interface. Then distributed features of Java make us able to use files by calling the methods from any machine connected. Multi-threaded deal with multiple tasks at once by defining multiple threaded. Architectural neutrality is not dependent on any architecture. So I think when you go for the from beginner to advanced, I think these are the features you have to explain, right? So then we have what is JVM. I think everybody knows it, but again, since we are starting from the basic, I also need a division. You also get the video to revise, so you can revise it. Okay. So JVM. So that Java, I think I was thinking that this will okay. Java is like JVM is like JVM is Java stands for JVM. Java JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, right? That we know. It is a Java interpreter. It is responsible for loading, verifying, and executing the bytecode created in Java. So Java source code हमें मिला, then it will go to compiler that will convert that into dot class, and then that dot class file can be used it for Windows, for Linux, for Mac, anything. So execution of .exe file on Windows, uh, execution of .out file on Linux, execution of .dm file into a Mac. So that's all. Although it's a platform dependent, which means the software of JVM is different for different operating system. It plays a like JVM ka software, though it's a platform dependent, right? For every operating system, you need a different programs to run the JVM. So operating systems plays a vital role in making Java independent. Like you can study Java, right? JVM also. But for now, this is what it does. It like how it is converting the source code into the dot class, and then dot class can be used into JVM, different JVM for different operating systems. So for Windows, we need a different JVM. For Linux, you need a different JVM. In that JVM, you can run your dot class file, right? So wherever you have created it, any part of the world. So then again, there is a JIT. So JIT also stands as just-in-time compiler is a part of JRE, that Java Runtime Environment. It is used for better performance of the Java applications during runtime. And then you will also see that the source code of Java, then it will go to compiler, then bytecode, and then it will go to JIT compiler, and then into native machine code, which is JIT. So the use of JIT. So you also have heard it, like we will go to this one. The use of JIT is the source code is compiled with Java's JAVAC file, that Java JAVAC file to form a bytecode, right? And bytecode is further passed on to the JVM, right? So JIT is a part of JVM, and JIT is like who is responsible? The JIT is responsible for compiling bytecode into a native machine code at runtime. Okay? So the JIT compiler is enabled throughout. So JIT compiler hota hai, like it is enabled throughout while it gets activated when the method is invoked. So the method ko when we call the method, JIT will get in for compiled method. The JVM directly calls the compile code instead of interpreting it. That's how it will work. As JVM calls the compile code that increase the performance and the speed of the execution. You can also run this thing JIT concept, but at least you should be knowing what JIT does it exactly. So what are the memory storage available with the JVM? How that works? These are the architectures. So you have JVM class loader, right? So you have class, you have heap, you have stack, you have PC register, you have native method stacked. Okay? So class loader. So JVM consists of few memory storage. Okay? These are the memory storage class. ये क्या करता है ना, this one is stored class level data, whatever class data such as of every data, such as जैसे कि हर एक डेटा का जो क्लास लेवल पे कोड होता है, जैसे constant pool, what we call it generally, and the method data and the code for that methods, okay, that will be stored it here. heap में क्या होता है, सारे object stored होते हैं, right? Objects are created or objects are stored. It is used to allocate memory to objects during runtime, right? This is what heap does it. Stack store data and partial results which will be needed while returning a value for method and performing dynamic linking. Okay, stack, that is what stack does it. Then we have program counter register, stores address of JVM machine, what JVM machine is using, right? Allocated like memory, है ना? Then we have native method stack, stores all the native method used in the application. Okay, so that's how this is one. Then class loader, we have it in this slide. Then what is class loader? Okay guys, if you want the slide, you have to comment it right away that you want the slide, so I will share you the slide. Okay, if you tell me after 2 years or 4 years, I cannot give you the slide, right? I don't have that slide also with me because we are doing it on the This is only for the 2025 specific to this interview series, which we're gonna prepare it for the, now for today, maybe after December, if we wanted to give an interview, this series is for that. So we will be focused, and I'm with you guys, you are with me, so we are preparing for that. And let's see how much motivation you guys are giving me. So I'll be making a video instead of studying. So I'll see if I can make it, based on the motivation I'll get it from you guys, support or the response, if you really need that. Otherwise, I'll not invest my time in preparing the video, I'll rather study. Okay. Class loader is a part of JRE, which is Java Runtime Environment for the execution of the bytecode or created .class file. Okay. Is response for dynamically loading the Java classes and interfaces. So class loader, that is what that does it, right? It will use the interfaces, it will load the interfaces, it will load the Java classes. Because class loader, because of class loader, Java runtime system does not need to know about files and file systems. Now, the basic questions: what is difference between JVM, JRE, and JDK? JVM is a Java commercial, JVM क्या है? JRE का part है, right? It's a part of JVM. So JVM is type of an interpreter responsible for converting bytecode into machine readable code. So what the JVM does it, whatever bytecode you will be giving it, it will be writing, it will make it into machine readable code. JVM is itself a platform independent, but it interprets the bytecode, which is a platform independent. Okay. So that JVM, though, like for Windows, for Linux, for Mac, there is a different kind of JVM that is dependent on platform. So for every platform, you need a different kind of JVM. But the bytecode, when you give it to it, when you give the bytecode to JVM, that it's only works to convert that bytecode into the machine readable code for JRE. So JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It is an installation package that provides an environment to run the Java program or application on any machine. Okay. Then JDK is comprises of JRE plus JVM, right? Provides the environment to develop and execute Java program. JDK package that includes two things: development tools to provide an environment to develop your Java program, and JRE to execute Java program or application. JVM plus JRE is equals to JDK. That's all. What is the difference between Java and C++? This is first video wherein we cover the basics, and I'll just revising the basics, right? So just take this one as a light video. We will have more videos coming in wherein we will have all the questions covered. This is also the basics, because some questions can be covered, asked from this also. So we need to have your basics clear or revised so that your basic has been brushed up. So now base is C++, Java. C++ is a platform dependent. Java is platform independent. C++ is mainly used for system programming. Java is mainly used for application programming. C++ का hardware क्या है? अगर if you C++ is nearer to hardware, Java is not so interactive with hardware. Global scope, C++ supports global and namespace scope. Java does not support global scope. Achha, this question has been asked to me when I was preparing for interview, and there was a company called Cerner. When I have given the interview, these are the questions has been asked to me. Okay. Functionality supports in Java but not in C++. Thread support, documentation, comment, unsigned write shift, right? Functionality support in C++ but not in Java. Go to, pointer, call by reference, structures and union, multiple inheritance, virtual functions. And these are also questions can be asked enough for freshers also. For freshers also, if you are preparing, these are the Java questions are important. Oops. C++ is an object-oriented language, but it is not single root hierarchy. Java is also an object-oriented language. It is a single root hierarchy, as everything is derived from single class. Java.lang.object, right? Inheritance tree, C++ always create a new inheritance tree. Java uses single inheritance trees as a class. In Java are the child of object classes. Object classes, Java object is the biggest class, right? In the Java. Explain public static void main strings in Java. Okay. So this is also the questions wherein you will. So public is access specifier, static is a keyword, void is a return type, main is a method name. And then string args is an array of a string type. Unlike any other programming language like C, C++, etc., in Java we declare the main function as a public static void main. The meaning of these terms are: right? We have already that access specifier. Public, when we have that public, so that means who can access the element or the method, what is the limit, right? It is responsible for making the main function globally available. It is made public so that JVM can invoke it from outside the class and it is not present in the current class. Static, static is a keyword used that so that use the element without initiating the class, so to avoid unnecessary allocation of the memory. ठीक है, एक ही है. Void is a keyword that is used to specify method does not have any return type. As the main function does not return anything, we use void. ठीक है. Then main represent that the function declares the main function. It helps JVM to identify that the declare function is the main function. ठीक है. String args stores Java command in line arguments and is an array of a type of java.lang.string class. ठीक है. These are the questions which is very important. Now we have a string pool concept, right? हमें एक stack और हम pool के क्या कहाँ पे जाता है, that we need to understand. So Java string pool is a place in a heap memory where all strings defined in a program are stored. A separate place is a stack wherein variable storing the string is stored. Whenever we create a new string object, JVM checks for the presence of the object in the string pool. If a string is available in the pool, the same object reference is shared with the variable, else a new object is created. Clear? So for example, हमने बनाया string str1 equals to hello. So hello will be stored in a string pool. So str will be stored in a stack memory. Right? So it will be pointing it to hello. ठीक है. अब हम str2 बना देंगे तो str2 will be, अगर उसके भी str2 is also equals to hello, so we will just create a str2 and it will point to hello. It will not create another address or another hello. ठीक है. What will happen if we don't declare the main as a static? We can declare the main method without static, right? हम बना सकते हैं without getting any errors, but the main method will be treated as an entry point and JVM will always look for the main method, right? So JVM will always look for the main method. So you in the compile time you don't have any error, but in the runtime you will have the errors. What are the packages in Java? So packages in Java can be defined as a grouping of related type of classes, an interface, etc., providing access to protection and namespace management. Why packages are used? हम packages क्यों use करते हैं? Packages are used in Java in order to prevent the naming conflicts, control access, and making search, locating, and usage of classes, interface, etc. It becomes easier, right? What are the advantages of packages in Java? Various advantage of defining packages: avoid name clashes. The packages avoid easier access control. We can also have the hidden classes that are not visible outside and are used by the packages. It is easiest to locate the related classes. तो दो टाइप के पैकेज होते हैं, यूजर डिफाइंड पैकेजेस एंड बिल्ड इन पैकेजेस, right? These two type of packages, we can have more discussions around these packages and more. There are more discussions. अभी हमने बहुत सारी कुछ सीखी यहाँ पे चीजें, like if you are studying it after a long time and you need it yet you don't want to study or anything, you can just watch my video. I think your basics or everything get brushed up. So this is for the freshers, this is for the beginners, and then intermediate, and then it is for the advanced people who are preparing. But again, for the advanced also you have to go to step by step, because we don't know what questions can answer. And if you are saying that you're 5 years and you don't know the basics, that's not you are not completely done your preparation. So everything we want to cover it is just we are going one step to the another step. So stay tuned for my videos, and